Hey, Jason. So we're doing a little bit different of a podcast today
because it's been a while.
It has been a while since we've recorded. We did a lot of show prep early in the season. We did a lot of recording before the season even started because we knew once the wedding season started, we're not going to be able to record every single week. It's just been a crazy year for us. But this is the last episode of season 3 of the Wedding Film School show. To close out what I would say is a pretty successful season. We saw a lot, I would say probably twice as many views as last year, which is cool and awesome.
A lot of people, I feel like, enjoyed it, and
Yep.
I stand by the content, so that's good.
Lots of good guests. But what we wanted to do today to kind of close out the season is talk about the future of Wedding Film School, talk about the future of the Wedding Film School show, how things might be changing or staying the same. So a lot of things to go over, but it's really just going to be about us internally, what people can expect kind of moving forward, right?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, we're off. I mean, we're going to be extra honest about some things in this episode and just how we feel about wedding filmmaking education and our own place in it, and what is a good use of our time versus a bad use of our time. But anything we're saying is not if you have a person, that you have in your mind, maybe you're right, maybe you're not right, I don't know, but we're not trying to go after any specific people, and we're definitely not saying that we're not appreciative of all the people who listen to us and enjoy our show, and wedding filmmakers in general, the community. We're super appreciative and grateful for everyone who's connected with us and will continue to connect with us. But it's just more, I think at the core of all this stuff, it's a very small niche audience. And so in order to do this right, you have to be, I would say, super committed to the content game and super committed to a lot of this stuff. And so all of that's really coming from everything we're going to say on this episode is going to be coming from that place of where we're at as a business and where we're at. I think to start, I would say this, Jared. We're kind of educators, but I don't really consider us educators.
Okay.
We educate, but we don't make a living off of it. We don't make money off of it. We don't have classes. We educate in real life.
In terms of making a living off of it, we're in the hole probably $40,000.
Yes.
On just producing content, and that's actual real American dollar bills. But then also the amount of time that we put into it that we could put into other things. And when we consider that, I would say we're down a lot more than that.
Sure, but I think and when you look at us, at the core of who we are is we're wedding filmmakers.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
And the reason why we can do this show for free for so long and invest so much time into it is because we have an actual successful 7-figure business that we're running. And we kind of do this on the side for fun because
we're sticking
we like it.
Good wedding filmmakers.
Yeah.
We're not people who, and I don't mind saying this, and if you have a problem with it, you can turn the show off. We're not the people who can't do, so we teach.
Mm-hmm.
We try to teach because we do it so well. Mm-hmm. That's our belief about ourselves. And if you look at our films and you think they suck, that's between you and God, I guess. Or you can tell me. Well, that'd be fine. I dare you to tell me. Come and tell me, and then I'll go look at your films. But I think in general, that's really who we are as people, and where our passion is we like doing this. I really loved this part of my life, but I know what's best most of the time is I have to make wedding films. Mm-hmm. And I like doing that. And so I think that's been one thing that's kind of maybe for me, I don't want to speak for you, but when I think about this whole entire journey has been who am I as an artist? What is satisfying to me? Would I ever be happy just literally just talking about the same thing over and over again to people, or talking to people and they never listen to you? Or is that acceptable to me? Because that seems to be what educators do. Educators sell the same content over and over and over again. It's not new. There's nothing new. A lot of times they are just preaching to the choir. It's more about building a fan base and all this. And it's like just things that aren't interesting to me, Jared.
Right.
Like, I don't care if everyone likes me. I don't care about showing up in your life.
So that's pretty clear.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to have to post if I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do any of that stuff. I just want to make the content that I think is helpful to people, but primarily based on the fact that I like making wedding films.
Yeah.
And I think that is like maybe a thing that I had to learn, and about you, I had to learn, like, oh, you have to like want to not be a wedding filmmaker. That has to be your goal.
Right.
To quit being a wedding filmmaker and just make other people pay you for the knowledge you got 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. Like, I'm still trying to level up my wedding filmmaking business. Like, that's what's important to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, from what I've seen in my experience as a consumer of content myself, is either most people who are creating content either have to get paid a lot of money to keep on creating their content. And a lot of times what that requires is your full attention, right? You have to go full time into content creation, or you have a full team who can, create the content. And, maybe you're operating at a loss for a while, but then it kind of starts taking over, and you can hire a team to do it. And I think what we've kind of struggled with is like, what is the model that we want to create? Because something that I definitely haven't wanted to do is produce content and charge people a shit ton of money for average dumbed down content that they can find on YouTube.
Literally BTS videos, we're doing a better job of for free, and someone else is charging $2,000 for. It's like, what's the point of that?
Most of the content that I've seen that we've, heard feedback from our viewers and people in the industry, most content out there is shit. Horseshit. Stuff that you can find on YouTube. And I didn't want to create just a behind the scenes film or whatever, charge people $3,000 for it or whatever.
Yeah, Craig's doing that for free like 7 years ago. Why do people want to pay money for that? I don't understand it.
Yeah, and I definitely think there's value in certain types of education and kind of more niche educations out there. I think what Stanton is doing is great because it's actually a super niche. It's not stuff that you can find on YouTube from any filmmaker who has.
Well, and if he wanted to put it on YouTube as free, he could.
He could, but he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. And so our choice was like, hey, we're going to do this. And maybe what we can do is we can get sponsors along the way. We've had a lot of cool opportunities. We've, gotten a ton of gear, good and weird gear sent to us, which is cool. It's a cool experience. We've been able to go on trips. We've been asked to do certain things. We've been, able to do speakeasies every year in Vegas and give away a ton of free gear to viewers and attendees of those events. And so it's been a lot of fun. I think it has been a lot of fun, putting out the content, learning, growing, and, getting good experiences along the way. But I think we were kind of in the crosshairs of like, okay, in order to keep doing this, are we just going to continue to repeat kind of what we've said in the past in terms of like creating a business, how to be a good creator, or just, pack it in and try to do good with our business, learn, grow, kind of give our businesses its full attention moving forward. And then maybe one day kind of come back to it. Like we've always kind of had this discussion, like me personally, I hate repeating myself. It's like I'm doing this content for free. I haven't seen a dime off Wedding Film School. For me to repeat myself over and over and over and over and over again, the same content that I did a year ago, I'm just not willing to do it anymore. And that's probably where we fundamentally disagree.
I just know you have to repeat yourself. It's called education. You teach high school,
right?
But
and I never would teach high school because it would be a waste of my time.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But I do think it's not a good use of everyone's time.
Right.
Like, and if it's not making money, then it's a waste of time. And this is like the thing people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm not your buddy. And this is how everyone feels. If you are talking to an educator or any kind of social person, all they care about is your money.
Yes.
Tell them to do something for free then. They won't, and nor should they.
Yes.
Nor should they.
Yes.
All I care about is your money.
Yes.
But I want to get it in a way that I feel good about. So I'm not willing to get your money in a way that I don't feel good about getting your money. I want to add value.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to add value. You know, I learned a lot of lessons doing these coaching calls. And this is what I'll say. A big lesson I learned is when I would have a coaching call with someone and the person would get on the thing and they would come kind of prepared, right? And they would say to me like, oh, I want to be, a big thing everyone wants to do is do luxury wedding films, which I think is always defined as not actually luxury wedding. What they mean is just high-end, nice weddings. They don't mean like shooting celebrity weddings. And I would say to them, okay, who's the top planner in your area? Who are the top planners? What are the top venues? And who are the top photographers? This is something I would expect them to have already, I would expect them to be like, bah, bah, bah. Because it's like, why are you complaining if you haven't even looked at, what are you coveting? You don't even have a thing that you want. You're just telling me you want to make more money. That's all you're really saying. You're not telling me, and you think they have the money. There are couples out there. And I'm like, you don't even do any of the basic research to know what you're asking me. So I say to them, well, okay, you're not ready. Find out who these people are, and we'll have another conversation. I can actually help you. If you sent me, Jared knows this. If I see a good planner and I want to work with them, do I usually figure out how to do it?
Yes.
Almost better than most people. The amount of times I had that conversation with someone that they literally went into a Facebook group and post complaining posts about how no, I can't get any bookings and I told you what to do. You won't do it. And this is my line, is I don't like singing for my supper. You came to me because I'm successful. You want me to help you? I am successful. I will help you. That's me being nice. I'm getting paid $400 or some stupid amount of money that I don't care about. I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart, sincerely. I do want to help you. If I can't help you, you don't have to listen to me. That's totally fine. I respect, like, if you had a coaching call with me and you thought what I said was wrong and stupid, I respect you. But I don't want to do it if it's not valuable. Mm-hmm. That's a waste of my time. And when I would do these things, and I'm like, I gave this person the number one tip.
Yeah.
Who are the top planners? Who are the top venues? Who are the top photographers? Figure out a way to get to know those people. Find out what they love. Get in their inbox. Go to the places they are. Literally do whatever it takes to be around those people, because they're the only ones that have the budgets that you want. That's freaking gold. And you know what they'll do? They'll be repeat customers. Screw all, like, attack my ideal client is a wedding planner. If your ideal client is some random person who wants to climb a hill, we're not the educators for you. And I think that's what I realized is, like, the market wants something I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell your work-life balance crap. I don't want to sell you, like, I want you to work. Because this is what I'll tell you. You come into my market with that crap and I will eat your lunch. On purpose. I will find you, I will look at your account, and I will find ways to take work from you. Like, that is called being an adult in business. If you want to learn how to run a business, I'm your guy. If you want to learn how to, like, I don't know, travel for free to Iceland, stupid. I would never travel for free to Iceland. That's a waste of my time. Yeah. And I realize, like, the average person who's coming to wedding filming education they're not serious. Mm-hmm. And there isn't a big enough of a market of people who want what I have.
Yeah. And it's, I think, a fundamental problem with our industry. Not a problem, because I honestly, I love our industry. I love the people in our industry.
I do too.
I love wedding filmmakers. I think they're the coolest people in the world. I love being around them because they're friends.
Especially
and
the good ones.
You know, like me, you know? And, but I think it is a fundamental problem where everyone wants to, you know, do less work, make more money, in a way that's not sustainable long-term. Like, it's a reason why you don't see many 45-year-old wedding filmmakers.
The amount of educators who I've heard do talks, and then a year later after they do this talk, tell me they're struggling to get bookings. I'm not going to out people because I'm not that kind of guy.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, like, if I could get one thing across to people in this, is not that we hate wedding filmmaking education, or that we don't like you, or we haven't enjoyed our time. It's like, I'm not gonna, if you want to be scammed, I'm not gonna stop you. You can go look into that. You can use your brain. If you want to be scammed by people, if you want them to take your money, and you just, or like, maybe it's not a scam. Maybe you just like the people, and it's parasocial relationship, and you love being with them, and you find them inspiring, and that's all it is. And that's cool too.
Yeah.
I personally don't care if you find me inspiring. Don't care. Like, I want you to listen, and if you listen and get better, that makes me happy. If you listen and like it and you don't get better, that makes me sad. I'm not happy if you like me but don't do better with your business. So I'm not interested in making you like me.
Yeah.
And like, but if that makes you happy and you're listening to someone, like, that's what I mean. Is like, do whatever you want. I'm just telling about myself and like what makes me fulfilled, and what you were talking about yourself. And like, I'm not happy making you like me. And that's important. That is what it takes to do this.
Yeah.
Is like, care more about that, making it, like, all the stuff people's like, oh, they're too negative. We'll see those posts, and I'm like, what? How would you know? Like, no offense, reviewer, show me your wedding filmmaking business.
Well, it's like, also half of what we do is critique weddings, so it's like, of course it's going to be negative.
Well, there's a lot of crap in life.
Yeah.
Like, running a business is hard. You want me to be like nice about everything? It's not.
In order to point out what is good and bad, you have to point out the good and the bad. So it's like, it's clear to me.
But people don't enjoy it.
Yeah, but
it's not entertaining to people. And I think that's what it comes down to, is like, we're educators, but we're not entertainers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and like, we want to, we educate people in real life, guys. If you're listening to this, the amount of filmmakers that we have literally trained from scratch who are shooting weddings for a living now, I promise you, is outpacing any other educator in the market.
Yeah.
That's what we do for a living, real life education. So anything we're saying about it is like just kind of how we would probably operate in our studio.
Yep.
And like, I think that's really what it's come down to, is like, not to say we hate doing this. I'm just venting, I guess. But like, I like doing this, but I'm not willing to do it in a way that the audience wants me to. I'm not willing to.
Well, you can't either.
Yes,
it's impossible to. But partially because of probably personality, but also because it's like, in order for us to really do it the way that we need to do it, we need to do it for free, and we'd have to give it all of your time. Right. You'd have to commit all of your time to it to make it successful, and to find ways to make it so that it pays for itself, so you could live.
Yes.
You know? And I think we're just not in the game. Like, there's this kind of like idea, I think, for in a lot of wedding filmmakers' mind. If you talk to a random wedding filmmaker about like what their 10-year goal is, most of them will not know. They're just into it for now. Maybe a portion of these wedding filmmakers will say like, I plan to get into commercial work. Maybe a portion of them says, you know, they just don't know at all. A portion is going to say, I eventually want to get into what?
Education.
Education.
I saw a post the other day. I'm getting into education, guys, post. And I'm like, who is asking for this? Like,
No
I'm
one.
in the game, but I'm like, that was one of the other reasons. I was
So,
like,
yeah, I would say to people that are currently saying, I'll get into education, I would say, don't do it. There's zero market. There's no one who's interested in what you have to say about wedding filmmaking.
especially wedding filmmaking, wedding filmmakers. Wedding filmmakers, this is what I'll say. Wedding photographers are conditioned to spend money on education. They will spend, there are photographers who for 25 years have spent $5,000 a year on education. Wedding filmmakers think they know everything.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Because it is, they know a lot more than a photographer would, because the nature of the craft is you have to know more. It's not just apply a preset. It's you have to storytell, you have to know color, you have to know audio, you have to know so much more.
Well,
so you've naturally had to educate yourself on YouTube for free, by the way, a lot more. And so those people are not willing to spend the money that a photographer is.
But also, they're just, it's a different culture. They're just different.
Totally.
Wedding filmmakers are different. They're like basement dwellers.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, I'm one of you, but like, we're much more like, it's just our culture. It's just like the way people are, and like, it is what it is. And like, like, I would love to educate photographers on how to do video. But I think in general, it's like wedding filmmakers don't care what I have to say.
Yeah.
They think I'm wrong or they think I'm right and they won't pay for it. It doesn't matter. Like either way, what's the point for me to do it? And so it's like, I think all that to say, you know, we are moving in a different direction, I think. And so I think we should probably tell people like, what's the future? What do we want to be doing? And hopefully that wasn't like too mean. I'm not trying to criticize people. I'm just telling you like, this is where I'm coming from.
Well, it wouldn't be a true wedding film school show unless we were honest with people. And if that's mean, I don't think it's mean.
It's not about being mean. It's just like, I hate this.
Well,
about
we're just changing
education.
directions. And that's it. Like, it's like, this isn't, I don't think it's valuable. And I think in a lot of ways, and we might differ on this, but I feel like we've offered everything that we could possibly offer to people. And if you want to go back and learn about how to create a 7-figure wedding film company, we have a long backlog that you can go through and learn from. I know that's not like the content, the best way for people to learn, but go back and listen to it.
I remember asking to speak at a conference. I was like, hey, if you need a speaker, and if you're listening, I like this person, so it's not a problem. But I was like, I'd like to speak, we're looking for opportunities. And the person was like, listen, basically, no one wants to hear about how to run a large company. And I was like, what kind of idiotic industry am I in?
That's pretty much my thoughts. Because it's like,
why would you not want to hear about that?
People don't want to learn to most.
And I don't want to deal with the education mafia that wants to keep, because nobody wants us to be preeminent educators because we would hijack their entire education model, which is anti-us.
Right.
So it's like not just us specifically as individuals, but like anti running a real business.
Right.
The entire thing is like, oh, do 15 weddings. That's the ideal. Why? Because that
means that there can be more wedding filmmakers to pay for dumb courses.
Yes, that's what it is. And so it's like when I'm like, I'm not saying you could do what I do. Most of you can't do what I do.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I actually don't think everyone should be doing what we do.
Right.
But when you say like they don't want to know, that's when I'm like, I think it's not my thing.
Well,
if people literally don't want to, if like there's an entire industry of people making $60,000 who don't want to know how we made $1 million, that's pretty stupid. And I'm like, if they're literally like don't have enough, if they don't care about who I am, the ways we've succeeded, and the quality of work we do, which it is good quality. Like this is the thing I want to tell people. My actual opinion is our work is, you want to know why we do well? Our work is probably better than yours.
Yeah.
That's why. You want to look at our volume? Fine. Go look at the actual work. Go look at the work. And it's like, that's not important either. That when you do education, it's like the best people are not educating.
Yeah.
The best work isn't important. The most money is not important. All that matters is, do I want to like hang out with this person, which I suck at, and are they saying something that already confirms what I want to do, which I also am not going to do for you. So then I think that's really what I was like, I am not willing to be what you want me to be. And I can't. I have to be myself. And if you want something like that, I can offer value. I want to offer value to people. But anyway, all that to say, we're not canning wedding film school, and we don't hate educating. We just think we need to reevaluate this and figure out a way to do it in a way that is true to us, that's actually offering value to people, and quite frankly, it needs to make money.
Yeah, maybe. I just think the amount of money versus the amount that it's supported itself has run through. Like we can't spend this much time without. I
can't have a full-time person just editing content for people that don't care about it.
Like, frankly, I would rather have $20,000 to throw at marketing to destroy everyone else. But
yeah, I mean, ultimately, it really comes down to like it's a business decision, but also it's like a values decision. It's like we don't want to be forcing people. Like everything I just said that was like critical is really just me saying like maybe I'm the problem. That's fine. If we're just literally just don't fit into the demand of the market, you know, we don't have to.
Yeah.
Like if everyone is enjoying, like they're, you know, if you just watch Matt Johnson every week on YouTube and you bought his course and you love Matt and you're enjoying what he has to say and you're learning a lot. And I'm saying that like I haven't taken his course. That's not a backhanded compliment. I like Matt a lot. He's a great guy. And that's enough for you. You don't need me.
Yep.
And if like you're like, you're so mean, Matt smiles and has fun beards and posts GIFs. Like, great. I'm never going to do that for you. Mm-hmm. Like the second I saw How to Film Weddings posting all these like, I'm at a wedding. And it's like, I was like, okay, if their audience likes that, great. If that's what it takes, I'm out.
Yes, that's how I feel too.
I'm
It's
out.
like,
I'm
now I
not
have to
doing that.
Produce content for you people. God, what else you want?
I'm a filmmaker. I don't produce
Sorry,
content
guys.
for free, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what I get paid to do.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, if it comes down to me producing free content or spending more time with my like kid and family, like at this point, guys, sorry. I'm choosing my kid and family over you guys. No offense. And that's not to say what you're saying. Like we're about to go into like why, how we're kind of progressing with Wedding Film School, which I think is a much better plan.
We want it to be quality too.
Yeah, we want to pack a punch. And so the podcast, the Wedding Film School Show, is going to be changing to an AMA show. It's going to be a monthly AMA show, which for those of you who don't, aren't up on the latest
We will not get
acronyms,
any sponsors, by the way.
who cares?
Yeah.
AMA, Ask Me Anything. So what we're doing is having you guys submit your questions to Jason and myself, where we just answer them. And there's zero show prep because, again, we want to do things that pack a punch, but still, allow us to focus on our businesses. And, so we're still going to be producing content there on a monthly basis. Make sure you're submitting weddingfilm.school/AMA. Pretty simple. We're also going to be continuing the WFS live show.
Yeah, weekly live streams.
Which we
might tweak that. I mean, maybe that becomes a little bit
For
kind
now.
of like a podcast in the future.
Sure.
Who knows? But we're going to do weekly live stream on that. I think that's a good use of time and fun. And
for now. And we do that weekly. It's essentially where Jay and Bobby hop on and they do weekly critiquing of films, of websites, of pricing guides, and just, your average shoot the shit kind of show where people are going back and forth and writing in, asking questions. It's all good and it's fun. And we're doing that on a weekly basis. Jason is actually going to be releasing pretty shortly a few podcasts.
So
with Benj.
yeah.
Why don't you hop in and talk a little bit about how that's going to play out and what that show's about?
Yeah, this is something I think there's an opportunity to have a unique perspective here, which is it's a podcast with a filmmaker and a photographer. And we're not married, and so it's a little different, I think, than people who are like running a business. Not yet, we might. But running a business together, like we're purposely coming at it from like that perspective of like it's called the Wedding Creatives Podcast, and it's about cameras. A lot of gear talk. We're talking about vintage gear and just things that inspire us because both of us are gear nerds and we're talking about gear and a lot of different, I think, wedding industry topics that are kind of relevant to what I like about it is when we talk, neither of us really know what each other are talking about. Mm-hmm. So we have to learn, and we have to be like, oh, that's what you're thinking.
Will this solve the photographer, videographer conundrum of like giving each other shots? It's done.
It's over.
Good. So we solved it. And how many episodes?
Right now we have 8 in the hopper. We'll probably get rid of a couple of them.
So if you're tired of seeing other people bitch about photographers getting in the shot, this is the podcast that you definitely want to listen to.
Yeah, we'll probably end up doing 12 a year.
Good.
Just like once a month.
Super simple, but Benj is awesome. If you don't know Benj Haish, he has an awesome YouTube channel. I think it's just Benj Haish on YouTube. Don't quote me.
Haish, Jared.
Haish. If you go on and you...
his stuff is awesome. I think he, as a photographer, is the best YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's like a big Leica guy. So if you actually love like nerdy film camera stuff, old stuff, that's definitely an
Actually
awesome
good at
channel.
photography too.
Yeah, actually is someone who's makes all of his money on not on YouTube in the real world.
People would actually hire him. He's not just going to be like, I average $10,000 a wedding. How many did you do? 5.
Yeah,
Great.
he's been around forever, and I think he's one of the best photographers.
He's awesome.
Out there. Yep.
He's great. So we're doing that.
Yep.
And I think Jared and I we like podcasting.
Yep.
But we're just trying to think of honestly, like a subject that has more impact, that we enjoy a little more than just talking about the same thing every week.
Yep.
So we're going to stay tuned. So our AMA will be on the Wedding Film School show.
Yep.
So if you're subscribed, you'll still get it. But we'll announce it on the AMA. Anything we do on this podcast will always be wedding filmmaking specific.
Yep.
But we are going to try to do something probably more wedding industry specific.
Yeah, just explaining a little bit about our thoughts here is like, and I think honestly one of the reasons why we want to move on to something different is you and I have always said we're much more wedding industry people than we are like wedding filmmaker people. Like,
probably,
at
least from a business standpoint.
From a business standpoint, we gravitate towards people with other successful businesses, whether they're planners, whether they're lighting companies. We run our business a lot like they run their businesses, and less like photographers and other filmmakers run their business. So I think it would be a little bit more event, luxury kind of, world experience driven, so that's kind of where our thoughts are now. So podcasting probably won't go away for us. And I'm not even saying like, or thinking that maybe Wedding Film School show goes away forever. We're just taking a break without any intention of restarting anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, if we do it again, we'll have a season 4, and we'll let everyone know. We are going to do the AMAs in the meantime.
Yep.
Until season 4 kicks off, you know. But like, I personally just found like was not super satisfying.
Yeah.
After a while, and we want to be satisfied with anything we do. So
yeah,
and it's not because of you guys, even though it's kind of your faults, totally.
No,
you didn't send me enough encouraging messages, and
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
No,
I think when we have something else to say, we'll say it, and I love that we're not under the gun from advertisers or people in the industry telling us what to do. Like that's one thing about being a content creator. And if you listen to any content creator, they'll tell you how much, they feel bound to always creating content, whether they have to sing for their supper or they just feel like people are like, hey, when are you going to produce it? You put all this work into one thing and it's never enough. It's the mailman syndrome. It's like, no matter how much you do, it's never going to end. It never ends. So this is us being like, hey guys, it's over for now. We're stopping.
Well, and also it's like, I know for me, and this is a thought I had, it was like, first of all, the fact that we're saying this to you guys is I don't know if it's a treat, but it's definitely a rarity in any kind of education thing where people are like, this is what's important to me about doing this.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't satisfy it or can't satisfy it as an audience, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
And like
most of the time people just fade away and stop doing it.
Or they're like, they don't want to tell you the truth because they want to leave the right ability to come back whenever they want.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact the second we release this, no matter what we do, it's going to have 1/4 of the engagement.
Sure.
So whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I know for a fact that like, when I think in my head, like, would I rather make an education course and make passive income, which like, or would I rather shoot 10 luxury weddings next year?
Mm-hmm.
What is exciting to me? And I'm like, screw making a course. I want to shoot 10 luxury weddings or 15 or 20. I'm driven by like what we're doing with our careers and like the weddings we're getting to do and the growth we're seeing in our business and like actually doing the things that we're teaching is exciting to me.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's like, if that gets in the way at all of making wedding films and running my business, it's just like, I'm not willing to compromise on that. And it's like, if you want to follow us on that journey, Huxley Film, Stop Go Love, Merriment Films. And of course, we're still going to do some YouTube content. We're going to do our BTSs from time to time over on YouTube. Maybe a few gear things. We might even start a gear channel. We're still talking now with Bobby.
Yep.
Like, it's one of the things I would like to do more of is more YouTube and less of the podcasting.
Yep.
So I think some of that will still continue. But it's really hard to do all of it when one of the things... it's really hard to make money on a podcast, straight up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go like doing a bunch of sponsorships. Like the audience is so small in wedding filmmaking that it's really hard.
Yeah. It's you and I, and if you can't tell, Jason and I run all these businesses together. So we're not talking about like, we don't run these two separate businesses. We run the same businesses, and we've always tried to bite off more than what we could chew. And
kind of a strategy.
See what works. But then we always have to cut the fat.
Yes.
And the things that maybe aren't as valuable to people or, just aren't going to work as much. Like we ran a photo booth, which was successful. And then over COVID, and then in order to get it started again, it's like, am I really willing to spend the money, give all the effort to a photo booth when I could be doing luxury weddings, traveling, do it like... Clearly, we're going to choose the better of the two options. But we're also in a position where if I needed to run a photo booth company and all of a sudden that popped up again, I would have the ability to just buy 5 and then market and do it. Same thing. Like we are just consolidating right now to pack a punch in the areas that we know kind of, can pack a punch and have more impact. And so, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing now is just consolidating our time, figuring out how we can do a better job and serve people better with less time, but then also grow our own companies, and meet us on the other side when we've grown those and, it might be resurrected from the dead. So,
and I could tell everybody, I would love to do some in-person stuff. I don't really have any plans in my mind. That would be, to me, very satisfying.
Yep.
I would very much enjoy getting together with wedding filmmakers. I've seen enough of my friends do it and seen how the economics work to not want to do it.
Yes.
And that's the other thing is like, it's like, I'm not going to come out of pocket anymore for people.
Yeah.
Wedding filmmakers. It's like if you guys want me to do something, like what's the Brie Larson interview where they're like, are you going to do another Captain Marvel? And she's like, does anybody want me to do it?
No.
No, actually we don't. But they did it anyway. But and I would say the same thing is like, I would like to do this. Does anyone want me to do it?
Yeah.
Like you want me to do it, then tell me.
Yeah.
And we can put it together and
I wouldn't even say we are opposed to breaking even on this stuff.
No.
But when it's like literally a drain on your time and your finances all the time.
And all you're doing is training your competitors.
And all you're doing is training your competitors to like say that you're
all
negative.
Your secrets.
Yeah. It's just like, I think it's just time to take a break and see if we have something to say in the future and go from there. So to recap, Wedding Film School show, what you're listening to now on the podcast, going to a monthly show. AMA. Yeah. Which will be fun. I love AMAs. I think they're awesome. I think it really gets to what the people want to know.
If no one asks us a question too, we're not going to release an episode.
Okay.
And I'm not going to be harassing you people. Like if you have a question and if you'd like, I mean, I don't mean this as a threat, right? I'm just saying like if you like this show and you want us to make AMAs and then fill the form out.
Yeah.
Like if you don't fill the form out, I'm not embarrassed to not release a show.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to be like, no one filled it out this month.
Yeah. Sure.
Maybe we'll talk. I don't know. But like in general, it's like.
And I don't really see these being more than 15-minute shows, by the way. Just, hey, what are people interested in talking about?
Good luck with that, dude. We're not going to be able to make maybe 30. We can get away with it.
Okay. We'll see.
But.
Yeah. So AMAs, Wedding Film School Live is still going to be happening.
Oh, yeah. We didn't tell them the domain, too, for the AMAs.
I did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. weddingfilm.school/AMA.
You did say that. My bad.
WFS Live right now every Thursday at 1 p.m. That, of course, could change.
Yeah,
at
we
any given
change
time.
our time from time to time.
Tune in over there. Jason and Bobby do a really great job. And every once in a while I tune in when it's not the middle of wedding season and I'm not packing for 12 weddings in a weekend. Also, look for some events that Jason wants to do in the future that may or may not happen.
Probably
Hopefully.
won't happen. But like I said, if you want it to happen, I'm down.
Hey, we've always talked about doing a speakeasy in New York City, and I would love to do that. I think it's just a matter of finding.
You don't want to spend $7,000 again?
I don't want to spend $7,000 of my money. I want to spend it on $7,000 of sponsors' money. But in order to do that, that's a lot of time to put together and manage. And frankly, I have a million other things to do.
I'm not offended by people not wanting to do stuff too. It's just like, hey, if you don't want to do it, like I don't
People
wanna
would
do it.
definitely go to that because
Maybe they
free
would.
alcohol and free lights and everything that we give away is pretty awesome. But it's just a matter of time. But if we're doing less time podcasting, I think we have maybe a little bit more time to do that kind of stuff, which is fun. And then, stay tuned for Jay and Benj's podcast coming out. Stay tuned for a podcast that Jason and myself are going to be producing probably in the beginning of 2024, I would just say, doing pre-production for that now. We appreciate you guys and just everyone who's given so much to Wedding Film School and Wedding Film School Show. You can catch us on, Facebook, on the Facebook group, Fighting with People about photographers. That's really the AMA. It's probably the Facebook group where we have back and forth. But Jay, anything you want to mention before we?
I would just echo your sentiment. Yeah. I appreciate people. It sounds like I'm like unappreciative. It's just my analytical brain, which is like measuring
so negative, Jay.
Pros and cons of something and knowing what.
Well, and to defend you, okay, you are the one who always is like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And I'm like, I have money to make, bro. And so if anyone has really pushed the ball forward, I think it's been much more you giving your time. You do Wedding Film School Live every single week.
I don't like convincing Bobby and Jared to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the truth. It's like, if they don't want to do it, I don't want to do it.
Right.
And because it's like, okay, what do we want to do then? Like, let's do things we're excited about. And I'll tell you this. This will be my last words. Maybe ever, but I'm assuming hopefully not ever. Hopefully, like, people submit and actually ask us questions about the wedding industry.
And also, hopefully you don't get in a car accident this afternoon the way you made that
sound.
Happen. Yeah.
It could happen.
Hey, you never know.
But
Knock
if
on
this
wood.
is like, if like the second you hear this episode, you're like, I don't want to hear any of the stuff they're doing. And you're just done with us because you're just like, you've sucked us dry of all our delicious blood juices that will help you become a good wedding filmmaker. And if we're not going to give you free stuff, then screw us. But listen, you got, just like what we're trying to do, you have to do what you believe in. Like, you cannot be a person that does what's expected of you. You have to do what you believe is right. Mm-hmm. And you have to care about results. You can't just, and I'm not saying do what your feelings say. I'm doing like, have principles and think like, what is the reason? And is this thing fulfilling the reason? If you're making wedding films and you just are passionate about it, but it literally makes you no money and you lose money making wedding films every year, maybe it's the time to hang it up. Just like the posts that I see all the time of like, these people are fighting me. I said it the other day in the group. Maybe you're the reason. Maybe you should try to get out of that circle. Why can't you get out of the circle? What is in your life that you need to put intentionality to change, to fix? You can do it if you do what you actually believe in. And I think so many people are spending so much of their time trying to do what they think other people want them to do, or what will make them successful or popular. And that is not a sustainable lifestyle. Like, you have to do what you actually believe is true and right. And good, and like, I think the difference, the thing that we try to help with is like, hopefully we can help you, like, just because you have a good values and you're trying your best at wedding filmmaking, you might not have the best taste. You might need a little help refining your palate and getting better. We can all get better. Like, there's definitely objective good films and bad films. It's not just like, oh, this guy's making films and they're super Christian, so they're good. It's like, yeah, all his shots suck though. So like, you got to do a good job. I'm assuming you're listening to this and you're doing a good job. And the one thing I'll tell you is, you don't have to be like me in any other way. I would encourage you to be like me in this way, which is, if I don't think it's right, I don't do it. And you should do the same thing with your business. If you don't feel like it's right for you, don't do it. Figure out a way to do something that you're proud of in a way that you are also proud of. And I like, if I can leave you with that, like, you should believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. No one else does. Like, I'm your competitor. Everyone in that wedding filmmaking group is your competitor. Like, they're your friend.
And I would just add to that, anyone who pretends that community over competition is like,
they're a loser.
They're lying to you.
That's a loser opinion. It's total manipulation.
Yes.
The real truth is everyone wants everyone's work. And we respect the gamesmanship.
Yeah.
So, like, I respect anyone who can take work from me consistently. I don't hate you. I'm an adult. It's a business. But I know at the end of the day, like, I got to do what's right for me and my family and all that stuff. And so hopefully you're like, if you're listening to this, if there's one thing you got from the negativity, that's the real world. And we're trying to tell you how it actually is. Mm-hmm. We have no money to make off of you. We make money making wedding films, and this is how we talk, and this is how the people we know talk, who we will not tell you their names, but they're people that you respect. And they all feel the same way. They want to get all the bookings, they're driven, they want to be successful, and they're willing to change and grow and be humble in order to get there. And there are no free lunches, and there are no free rides, and anyone who's telling you, like, oh, you can do this and blah, 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 like, and it feels easy, that person, you're the mark. Mm-hmm. You're the mark, and don't be the mark. Like, be the winner. Don't be the schlup.
Yep.
So that's my last words.
Yep. I would just say good luck, guys. We'll see you on next month's episode of the AMA Wedding Film School show. Thank you guys for just, again, giving us so much feedback and just being awesome. And the community is really great with the wedding filmmaker, community that we have and just abroad.
Yes.
And again, just want to echo that, I love wedding filmmakers and appreciate you guys. So stay tuned for all the things that we have coming up next. And we'll see you next time on the Wedding Film School platform. How's that sound?
That sounds great. That's what it's the new name, the Wedding Film School platform. But see you guys. Care about you guys. Make some great wedding films, all right? And make some money.